It's Reason, owner of the Reason Sports Network, and today I'm here to bring you the USA Today Top 25 Preseason Rankings, and this is for high school football. The preseason #1 team in high school football is Mater Dei, and for good reason. During the 30-20 season, Mater Dei ended up winning the California State Championship and ended up advancing to the National Championship where they played against IMG Academy. Last season, Mater Dei was the #1 defense in high school football, and they were arguably the greatest high school defense of all time, only giving up 5 points per game. They are losing their best player, which is Stan Amory, an All-American defensive end that gone on to play at USC, but they still have a lot of returning talent on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. They look to make a repeat at the national championship in 30-21. The #2 team in all of high school football in the preseason are the Miramar Patriots. It seems like Miramar has been knocking on the national championship door for the past 2 seasons. They were undefeated for pretty much the entire season in 30-19, but they ended up losing in the Florida State playoffs. They're led by 5-star quarterback Josh Prince, who's an extreme talent. He's actually in the top 5 of the Gatorade National Player of the Year preseason watch, and for good reason too. He has everything that you would want in a quarterback. Probably has one of the top 5 biggest arms in high school football. He's one of the fastest players in high school football, and he can make anybody miss in the open field. He's a Patreon member, and this team is also led by another Patreon member, 5-star wide receiver Bo Carter, who's been dominating ever since he's been on the field. Last season, Bo Carter had 1,984 receiving yards, and he led Miramar to the Florida State Championship. Him and Josh Prince are both from Broward County, Josh Prince being from Pompano Beach, and Bo Carter being from Lauderdale Lakes. Miramar pretty much brought back the entire team from last season, which is why they're so highly ranked, and a lot of people are expecting them to win a national championship. And that's not a bad expectation to set for them, especially when you have a quarterback playing at the high level that he plays at. Last season, Josh Prince had 4,000 passing yards, 47 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 1,100 rushing yards on the ground, and on top of that, he had 16 rushing touchdowns. Not to mention, this young man only played 10 games last year. 10 games. The quarterback Patrick Mahomes, the 10th for Miramar, was struggling, so they ended up benching him, and Josh Prince has been in the starting lineup ever since. They had a down year last season, but St. Francis Academy is the #3 ranked team in the USA Today preseason poll. 30-19, they ended up winning the national championship when they had All-American Andrew Rice. And this season, they added 2 blue chip transfers to the team, just like Andrew Rice was a blue chip transfer. Jermaine McLeod, running back that came from IMG Academy, and J.C. Jackson, quarterback that came from Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C. J.C. Jackson is a 5-star recruit, and he's currently class of 30-22. Jermaine McLeod moved from IMG Academy to Baltimore, Maryland, while J.C. Jackson didn't have to go too far, went from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore, Maryland. St. Francis is back to chasing a national championship, and I think that they have the squad to do so this year, especially when you have a dynamic quarterback like J.C. Jackson and a dynamic running back like Jermaine McLeod. Makes him almost unstoppable in the read option game. Coming in at #4 in the preseason rankings are the IMG Academy Ascenders, and this is no surprise. IMG is led by 5-star tight end Bryson James, who's been great ever since his freshman year. His sophomore season last year in 30-20 was his breakout year, where he had over 2,000 receiving yards and led IMG to the national championship, where they ended up losing against Mater Dei. They bring back all of their impact players, don't lose much, and they look good in spring practice. Bryson has spent his entire offseason pretty much at IMG, watching IMG basketball games, and pretty much staying on campus to work out. He didn't go back home too much during the offseason, so I expect him to have a huge season this year. Rummel out of Louisiana is #5 on the preseason polls, and Clay Chalkville out of Alabama is #6 on the preseason polls. The #7 team in the preseason poll are the DeSoto Eagles, and this is hands down the fastest team in all of high school ball. I think they have at least 5 or 6 wide receivers that run a 4.2. They're led by 5-star quarterback Von Darren Adams, who's also on the Gatorade National Player of the Year watch list. He has a big arm, he's accurate downfield, and he can throw with anticipation. He often makes those talented receivers look better than what they actually are, and they're pretty damn good themselves, which is a good combination for the DeSoto offense. And their run game is led by 4-star running back LaDarren Adams, which is Von Darren's little brother. And the spring game for DeSoto is about to come out. I want y'all to see how dominant this guy is. He went off. He's great in the run and the pass game. DeSoto's defense is also filled with a lot of subscribers who are talented as well. They might not have the name just right now, but I'm pretty sure after the end of the season they'll have the name. The number 8 team on the top 25 USA Today preseason rankings are the Dama Stags, and the Dama Stags have not lost a game since 2019, and the only game they lost that year was against Andrew Rice and St. Francis, who were the 2019 high school football national champions. Ever since that loss, Dama has been led by 5-star wide receiver Cato Hendricks, who's currently a junior. Last season, he had 3,068 receiving yards while having 1,600 rushing yards on the ground, which allowed him to win his second straight high school football Gatorade National Player of the Year. And Cato has been so great that he hasn't lost a game ever since he started for Dama. He was moved up from JV during his freshman season, and ever since then, Dama has been dominating people, specifically on offense, because of Cato Hendricks' versatility in the run and the pass game. Dama has won the WCAC championship, which is the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference, for the past 2 years, but they weren't given the opportunity to play in the high school football national championship. They did lose their 5-star quarterback Colin Dunn last year, but I think Cato Hendricks can ball out and dominate with any quarterback. I've talked to Cato plenty of times during this offseason. He told me that his main goal is winning the national championship. He wants to accomplish that before he ends up going to college. St. Edward's from Lakewood, Ohio is the number 9 team in the preseason rankings. J. Sarah Catholic, number 10 in the preseason rankings. J. Sarah Catholic, a talented football team that is pretty much top heavy, and they're led by 5-star rising sophomore Jamar Prosser. Prosser gets it done on both sides of the ball, on offense and defense. On offense, he's a dynamic threat to take it to the house at any moment of the game, and on defense, he plays free safety, and he's a threat to take the ball away from your offense at any point in the game. Prosser has been a Patreon member, and he's a subscriber to the channel, and I can't wait to see his game evolve over the years, because he's such a talent, has all the tools that you will want from a wide receiver or a DB. Now that was the top 10. Cocoa ends up being the number 11 team. Lakeland ends up being the number 12 team. Mission Viejo is the number 13 team in the preseason rankings. Neville's number 14. Phoenix City Central is number 15, coming out of Alabama. Then we have North Allegheny out of Pennsylvania at number 16, Spanish Fort out of Alabama at number 17, Lake Travis out of Texas at number 18, South Panola out of Mississippi at number 19, Cedar Hill out of Texas at number 20, Miami Northwest coming in at number 21, Grayson coming in at 22, and Grayson is led by 5-star defensive end / tight end Jacarius Best. Best is class of 3024, which means that he's a rising sophomore in high school, and he had a great season in 3020, his freshman season playing high school football. Had over 12 sacks, and he had over 1,000 yards receiving. But me personally, I don't think Grayson is the best team in Georgia, even though they did win the state championship last year when they upset Marietta. But I think Marietta has more talent. I don't even think Marietta will be ranked in this top 25, but Marietta has more talent and more depth than Grayson. I think Grayson just has more blue chip players, and when you have a guy like Jacarius Best on your team, he covers up a lot of weaknesses. But I'm excited to see the Marietta and Grayson matchups once again this year. Last year in the regular season, Marietta ended up winning, Grayson lost, but in the state championship game, Grayson ended up beating them in a surprise upset fashion. Grayson has a lot of players coming back. They did lose some defensive players, but for the most part, all of their impact players are coming back except for their starting cornerback. Now, Booker T. Washington is number 23, Long Beach Poly's number 24, Dutch Fork is number 25, St. Ignatius comes in at number 26 unranked, Pitt Central Catholic 27 unranked, Trinity Christian 28th unranked, St. Xavier's 29th unranked, Servite is 30th unranked, and Marietta's the 31st ranked team. Now that's just something I can't agree with. Now I know that they finished the season unranked last year because they had too many losses and lost in the state championship, but Marietta's a good football team. They have so many subscribers and Patreon members on the team that make impact plays week after week. It's so amazing. Like Jordan Rubama right here. He's a wide receiver and a strong safety. I think he had over 1,000 yards last year receiving, and on top of that, he made so many clutch third down stops, big hits and interceptions, you name it. He's part of the 30-23 class as well. And Brian Musket, the quarterback, one of the most talented players in the nation that just isn't polished yet. Big arm, extremely fast, very elusive, physical, strong runner, but sometimes he's just inaccurate or he makes bad decisions downfield. But he was a freshman last year, so he still has a lot of time to develop. But these guys are talented on the outside offense and defense and on the inside. A lot of talent on the defensive tackle and the defensive line in general. Grayson's getting a lot of hype from teams in Georgia, but watch out for Marietta. I think that they can do something special this year, possibly win states. Anyways, it's Reezy here on the Reason Sports Network. Make sure y'all like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the post notification bell too. You can be a character in the Reason Sports Network universe. We make content for high school, college, and the pros. You can submit a form. The link will be in the description. However, if you sign up with Patreon, you'll have a lot more customization and control over your character. The link will be in the description. If you want to see the 3021 high school football signing day show, then click this video right here. It's so many subscribers and Patreon members making their college decisions.